here it is, guys. You guys asked the questions, and today I'll be answering them. Here's the Q&A for Stepney Bulstrode. Let's get it. So what's my favorite character, my favorite episode of the show? Well, the favorite episode is easy, because that is Escape. Now, I may as well say what everybody else is going to say about Escape. The music is great, the visuals are great, and I love just the drama and suspense that comes. And it's all just really bleak and sad, and you see Douglas's, trauma from when he was going to be scrapped at one point, and just all this emotional weight from Escape, in my opinion, makes it the best episode. And also, I think that one really good thing about Escape is that it's the only episode that truly shows how special the island of Soda really is, because it shows that it's a safe place for steam engines, and the fact that Oliver is able to escape there shows that. As for my favorite character, it's a lot harder, but if I had to pick my top two, it would be Henry and Gordon. Henry and Gordon are in some ways the opposites of each other. Gordon starts off as an engine that has everything going for him. He's one of the strongest and fastest, he's a new design, he's an express engine, and everybody loves him. But over time he becomes more humble. Henry goes through a very different journey. He starts off in one of the worst possible positions, always getting sick, being in a bad shape, and just generally not having things going for him. And then, after his rebuild, after gaining some confidence, he becomes very different. And the journey that we see as Gordon becomes more humble and Henry becomes more confident, I think that makes these two the best characters. Now, of course, there are other characters that I really like. Some of them include Daisy, Bill and Ben, Oliver, Stepney, Skarloey, Sir Handel, Duncan, and then, of course, you've got Cranky, Salty, Elizabeth, you've got Spencer, Steven, Hero, and Ryan. So those are some of my favorites. So what got you into Thomas? Well, I've been into it my whole life. I grew up with many of the DVDs. I think one of the first DVDs I had was Percy's Chocolate Crunch, so I've just been in love with it ever since. And when I was a kid, I loved the toys, I loved the crashes, but as I got older and I went back to the show, I started to appreciate other things about the show, like the model work and of course the music. So over time, as I became more fascinated with the music, I decided to, compose some of it myself, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm still into the show today. Do I live in England? No, I live in the United States. I've been to England a couple of times and I really liked it there, but I live in the US. When did you start making music, and what was your inspiration? Ooh, okay, this is a good one. I started making music a couple of years ago, a little bit before I developed this channel, and, I first was introduced to music when I saw my dad also composing music, and he would often use sheet music apps like Flat.io or MuseScore, and I was inspired by that. I wanted to make my own music, and so I took it upon myself to learn how to use these apps and how to basically relearn sheet music, and over time it just became something that I was obsessed with. So what is your favorite piece of music that you've made so far on this channel? Oh god, I've made so many that it's quite hard for me to decide at this point, but okay, I'll put this into different categories. So I would say out of my favorite remix that I've made, like my favorite rendition of a theme, I would probably say Step to the Stepney. That's sort of my pop rock version of Stepney's theme, and as you all know, I love Stepney. I would say my favorite original theme on this channel is Sir Handel's, and then as for my favorite mashup, it's the one that's playing right now. It's the mashup that I made for Edward and James. I really like it, not just because I like these characters, but also because I like the sort of season 7 style that I put on it. But yeah, it's really hard for me to decide, and I hope to make many more that I'm proud of in the future. So what are my plans for the future? Well, I have a few things in mind. I'm definitely going to do more mashups in the future. I also want to do Percy's theme at some point, and I also want to do Fergus's theme at some point. So stay tuned for that. And I would say the most unusual thing that I want to do is I want to make original themes in the style of Tubbs. So this is going to be a big one, and I'm not entirely sure how it's going to turn out, but I'm hoping that it will sound good, and hopefully I will release them on my channel sometime soon. Are Splatter and Dodge perfect in every way, and are they deserving of utmost exaltation? Oh wow, this is an interesting question. I would have to say yes. Splatter and Dodge are like the perfect comic duo. I'll admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Magic Railroad. I have a lot of problems with that movie, but one of the best things about that film, aside from the music, is Splatter and Dodge. Splatter and Dodge are just so funny, and the amount of times that they basically call out Diesel 10 for, doing silly things, I love them, and I really wish that they returned to the show. It would be really neat if, for example, let's say you had Ari and Bert working at the smelter's yard, and Splatter and Dodge were sort of like their assistants, and they would sort of just be like the funny ones that would kind of lighten the mood of the smelter's yard a bit. That would be pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really liked your questions, and if you have any more questions, please comment below, and be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more music. I have a lot of things planned, I have a lot of things in store, so, I might do another Q&A like this sometime. Thank you, guys.